It's Tony Ortiz here, back with the last video in the submission sequence. We are going to be playing a max chaos seed. This one I'm going to do a lot less talking because there's an even higher mental stack there. But as you can tell from the first seed, we still had a lot of time for me to explain a lot of what was going on, and also we would have had time for donations and all that. Even made a mistake that made it a little longer so we could get a lot of that stuff in. It's always the one you don't check, right? So anyway, here we have a max chaos seed. I wanted to show the beginning here just to show the difference in what we would do. We would get a number, and you kind of see all the settings to make sure this is all correct. And someone played through this and made sure it's completable, so I won't be playing for 3 hours and then not being able to finish. So I'm just going to go ahead and get done as fast as I can. As I speak a little bit less through this, just kind of use that as an example of like this is where we could put space. There'll be a lot of farming, like when I stop to farm a mob for its shard drop or something like that. We will have time for donations or explanations or whatever. And with a commentator, they could explain what's going on while I'm playing, and then definitely throw it off to donations as I'm like farming something or whatever. So yeah, this one should be a little bit longer. We do have the music turned off. Again, it's just so if you can hear me clearly, and we can turn this up and have the music playing while we play. It's a great soundtrack, of course, but it's not needed and so on. All right, so we're just gonna get right to it. Let me get back in here. All right, and again, we start with these extra DLC items, and they are going to be a very big benefit. So I mentioned in the overview video, I chat about this, and I think in the beginning of the second one. So the DLC gear, there's a one of each equipment and a shard, and the shard does fire damage. So what's good is that it can open up the shortcut to come back to this side of the boat from the other side. And then also the key item that we want to pay attention to from the free DLC that's included with buy the game is the Shantae sword, and it's a 12 damage weapon. And that's key in max chaos because we could absolutely go through this entire boat sequence here and not find a single usable shard for damage, or like one that's usable but not have any MP to be able to use that attack on the boss to get out of here. And we could also find no melee weapons that are any good, or and have to use our fists. And unfortunately, unlike Soten and RotN, our fists are very, very weak. They do 1 damage. So until we gain a massive amount of levels. So what that weapon does is it lets us do 12 times the amount of damage that our unarmed self would be able to do, and it makes the boss to get out of this section pretty much a guaranteed kill every time. Whereas before you might have to spend literally 15 minutes doing 1 damage every hit to it. So that's a small note I wanted to drop at the beginning that we would cover if we did this run, and we're going to go ahead and take off from here in 3, 2, 1. Okay, and so something I didn't really touch on as I was playing through the first run that I would like to touch on now is the colors of the chests and how you denote what's in them. So there are green chests which can have recipes, they can have items that you equip, items that you can use to craft, and a few other things. And then brown chests have healing potions or mana potions in them, or they can have ammo. And then also we have, we're going to change our gear right now. Okay. Because we actually do need to be able to kill enemies here and try to get their shard drops, so I'm going to go ahead and equip this. Sometimes you can get lucky and get a good weapon right away and not have to menu more than once, but yeah, so anyway, brown chests are potions and ammo. Blue chests can have gems, they can have food, and they can have other miscellaneous crafting items as well. Ooh, a ring. Okay, that might be able to craft something. Who knows? And brown chests. We covered brown chests. Red chests have money. Just they're guaranteed to have money drops in them. And that's a little kind of an interesting thing. For some reason, the Mort enemy has a chance to have a 100% drop rate. We don't know why. It's just kind of like something that can randomly occur in the game, and it looks like that's what we have. In this case, oh, green. Okay. Okay, And basically, what's great about MC is that any enemy you kill that drops a shard is a very good bit of luck, because... Oh, wow, okay. Well, this is going to be a way easier run than I was fearing. Yeah, we don't need to. But basically, any enemy you kill in a max chaos is an awesome to get a shard drop, because you don't ever have to go back and farm that enemy. So the more enemies that drop their shards without you having to come back and farm them, the more time you save. And we have a lot more enemies to farm in this version of the run. As like, I think we had like 30 something. I think it's like 34 in STS, but in that, only a few of them are ones that are guaranteed drops, so you have to farm quite a few of those. Well, in Max Chaos, where it could be any enemy that drops a shard, yeah, it's a lot more, obviously. And also, one other thing to note... Try not to take damage here. Okay, and one other thing to note, sorry about that, is that save and warp rooms are mixed in this, so we pretty much are going to dip into every save room that we skate by, because it could be a warp room, and that could save us time later. You know, on refarming anything, or we have to come back. I don't think I need to open the shortcut right now, because we have the shard to open it whenever. Okay, that's really good. Yeah, and it looks like we don't have any warp rooms to come back to, so... Okay. There's a couple hidden rooms that we can't get to without any kind of movement shards, but... typically not worth to farm. You know, if one of these enemies that we didn't get a shard drop from is like, you know, double jump or invert, it's going to hurt later, but that's just how it goes. Oh, okay, that's a really good weapon. Wait, can I just turn this in right now? Okay. Normally I wouldn't do that, but in Max Chaos, with all the crafting shuffled around, you're going to find that a lot of the items that you normally would use to craft other things that are great to find, like ring, don't craft anything at all. So, yep. Okay, Jeebel's glasses. Kitsune Mask and Invisible Blade. Okay, Kitsune Mask is not on here. Invisible Blade is not on here. Okay. We need to check this. Oh, this is always a save, and the room up top is always a warp, as I mentioned in the overview, I believe. Okay, we can't sell any kind of items that we don't know are not used in crafting recipes that we want to make. So we really should just go ahead and look at what we can buy here. All right, so no. Okay, we do have a mana regen. That's good. Ectoplasm, Halite, which is great if we can find some rice seed, but there's no rice seed here. No. Normally would be really good, not really useful right now. So no Invisible Blade. Right, and no Kitsune Mask. Okay. So the Moon Belt's a great accessory for movement. It makes your backdashes better, which makes your default backdash canceling movement better. Okay. So let's... What we can do is we can sell duplicates of shards, and then I just want to buy some healing. So let's buy one of these. Okay. And something else I didn't touch on in the STS run is the way that food works. So food and drink heal you, as they would normally would. But what they also do, okay, is the first time you consume a food or drink, it gives you a permanent stat boost, which can be any of your stats. It can be HP regen, MP regen, max HP, max MP, I think, are in there in some capacity as well. So there's all sorts of cool stuff that can happen when you eat food. Sometimes you'll want to eat food without even needing to regen, depending on, like, you know, what happened. Okay, that's actually really nice. We need to remember that that exists because we had Halite. We can make infinite... theoretically, we can make infinite rice balls. So the Halite plus rice seed, which turns into rice, will make you a rice ball. And the it's very cheap to buy, and it only heals a minor amount of HP, but it's very cheap, so you can buy a bunch of them later and make your endgame fights a lot easier. So what we need to do is make sure we turn in the seeds. All the seeds can be grown into, you know, full vegetables / grains at that little farm area that we were in. So have to remember to turn that in. It does take a little bit of time. Okay, so now that we get that bat drop, I'm not going to bother to kill more bats, so I'm just going to dash right under him. Actually, let's kill that again. Okay, Kung Fu shoes are useful, potentially. You can use them to, in conjunction with other items, to kind of skip certain things. There is a reflector ray shard that I believe I got in the last run that, combined with the Kung Fu shoes and good execution, could theoretically skip us across the gap in the garden here. But we would have to get an enemy to drop that before we head on the other route. Okay, that's good. That's a poison. It's the worst poison, but it's still a poison. Okay, cool. So when you don't have a shard, it automatically equips the first one you get, but then if you sell it off or whatever, you just still have to manually equip that shard. So since we start with a purple equipped, whatever purple we find first, we have to manually equip, but the other 4 will automatically equip when we find one. Okay, Bovine Plume is also really good. That can upgrade a white shard normally. Not as good of a find in this format because all that stuff is shuffled around. Bovine Plume, though, would be potentially really good in... okay, we don't need ammo. In the STS run. Okay. And before I'm going to stop this farm anything, I'm kind of like getting a lay of the land a bit here. Seeing what's open to me without having to farm anything. See me, I canceled the level up there with the start button. Okay, very, very good, actually. So we can come back. Sometimes you get double save room there and you can't warp back to this area, and it's a big pain. Okay. So, basically we have to check every item because we are looking for the Zangetsu 12 sword. As you recall, that is required to beat the game. We also have to looking for every shard drop enemy we can because the dimension shift shard is required to beat the game as well. So we're looking for those two things. Once we get one or the other, we can stop checking all the things in those categories. Like I can stop checking items completely once I get a Zangetsu 12 sword. I can stop checking shards once I get the dimension shift shard. However, we probably will still continue to check both of each until we find a lot of other things that could make the run easier. So I know how to craft Jeebel's glasses. So I'm definitely on the lookout for the mask that we need and the sword. Since we need, I think it was 1 mask and 2 swords. So we're still going to definitely be checking everything, trying to find that stuff to craft that item. And also we could... Vanilla shortcut, wow. Ooh, Bashi is very good. It's one of the better red shards in the game. I'd say it's probably top 3, if not number 1, depending on what you have to supplement it. But red shards cost a lot of MP, so you won't see us using them as much. Okay. I might actually use shortcut in this run. So this is what the shortcut menu looks like. You can kind of save gear sets and then flip to them quickly. Just to show you an example of that. Okay. So pretty good luck here. We're getting a lot of just free shard drops as I'm moving through the areas. Okay, I believe that's way better than what we're wearing on our head. Yeah. Okay, there's no item here, so that's actually an interesting place to be. Oh man, if that was an invisible. Okay, so far all the warp rooms that we normally are used to are here. And those safeties we talked about are still there. Even in max cast, they can sometimes appear, which is why you saw me go check the invert safety, and I will also be checking the Zangetsu 12 safety. Okay, and this guy has a little bit of an exploit here, where if you have uncapped FPS on, and you stand in like any spot within striking distance of him, you just rapidly attack with something that's fast enough, or attack with a shard that's fast enough, he will just spin a Rooney like that, back and forth. Ooh, vanilla craftwork. Okay, well that gets us across the gap in Garden, so we can actually just keep going. I think. And this is where kind of like the philosophy of randomizer comes in for this game, and like, you know, the weighing of gamble against gamble against gamble. basically, if that kill right there wasn't something that could get us into another area of the castle, I would have to now start farming enemies for their shard drops to see where my progression shard would be to the next area, which could be, you know, it could be movement, it could be a craft work like we just found. Okay. But you know, it could be on any enemy that drops a shard in this area, you know, or back on the boat, or, you know, anything we've skipped up to this point. So, then I would have had to start farming. But with that, I can basically now decide, okay, do I farm everything out here where I'm at, or do I just keep pressing forward, keep doing more item checks, looking for more items that can drop me luck, stuff, and, you know, keep pressing, and then, like, you know, maybe leave good shards behind, or, you know, do I farm everything out right here, and, you know, before I even go to the next area, I'm confident I have everything, and so on and so forth. Well, I have an idea. So I left these checks, these chest checks, because I would have had to go all the way back around if I did them. So I'm going to do these, and then I'm going to go back through into the garden, and then I'm going to progress forward. I like what we call orphaning stuff, and that is leaving it behind and coming back for it later, because I think when you come back for it later, you'll be stronger. You'll have more resources, more options, and that eventually will lead you to be farming whatever you left behind a bit faster. The only way you can really get punished is that if you find no movement, and backtracking becomes a lot worse because you're not moving as fast. But if we can find double jump, if we can find accelerator, this is actually also good to show off, because this is what happens in the vanilla game. You get that blue shard from Craftwork, and then this is how you get to the next area. You can't actually go north of the area I was in, like I did in the STS run, where I had invert to just fly upwards and kind of sequence break, basically. Okay, that is huge. So invisible blade, we just have to find or craft another invisible blade, I believe, and then find the other item. This is a red chest. Oop. The little bookcases will tell you how to do special moves. I accidentally hit that. I was trying to just see what that chest was. That is a red chest. We don't have to come back for that. Okay, I don't want to go underground yet because I have no way to get through the water. And I have no waystones. I think I am going to farm some shards, though. This is a good spot. If this is a save room, at least. Okay, yeah, this is perfect. Alright. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a little bit of a gamble. And I'm going to farm this guy. And these. And actually, I'm going to farm the stuff in this room over here. Lily's my girl and usually gives me what I want, so I'm going to go for... Okay, that was bad. This would be perfect time for us to read donations, basically, because I'm just farming these enemies. And the reason I'm choosing to farm here is because we can only go so far in library before we need... okay. We only go so far in library before and the tower before we need some kind of movement to go up and down vertically. And oh, I don't need to actually farm these anymore because she dropped a yellow that we don't need. Okay, so now that Lily dropped, this is kind of a way worse area to be in. There's carriage morts in the library. If Puppy's the answer, that really sucks, but I think we can gamble on it not being Puppy. So basically, I have Zagan here. I have these fairies. I have Burr armor. Yeah, we killed him. Okay. Did I get Gargoyle too? Did we get? Yeah, we got Gargoyles, so let me go back this way. Farm these two. Let me go make sure. Okay. So I want to make sure she didn't have nothing. Because nothing is a drop. Should probably be killing this guy too while I'm over here. Actually, yeah, this is much better. This is way more efficient. Okay. Garbage. Hopefully I can get the shard drop before I'm out of mana. Because I'd like to progress forward and farm the next stuff. Actually, yeah, we can just do this. This is not as... Come on, buddy. Let's just check him real quick. Okay, it doesn't say he's nothing yet. Okay. Oh! That looked like white. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so we need this. And that's unfortunate too. I popped off the screen. Very nice damage on this Void Ray. Great. Okay, so our horizontal movement's still really bad, but our vertical movement is now basically as good as it's gonna get. Okay. That's actually huge because that means we don't have to go back and farm any of the stuff that we skipped before. Necessarily right now. We might need to later, but it depends. I thought those were going to be GGs. And just because something's in the crafting menu doesn't mean it's not in the treasure chests out in the world. So all the stuff that's in treasure chests only shuffles itself within stuff within other treasure chests. Like, there's no way, unfortunately, for the game to shuffle shop items that are only craftable normally in the regular game into chests. It just shuffles all the chests in the game around with each other. And that's just unfortunate, just one of the limitations of the built-in randomizer, of course. But hopefully, if they make a sequel, that will be something they could add in. Or maybe if we get some kind of, like, cool, like, random patch out of nowhere that actually has logic in it, they'll also put that in. It's a dream that we'd like to have, but you know, something that's probably people understand that it's definitely achievable on PC. But you know, without playing on console, we kind of lock out a lot of people in our community from being able to play. So we really just try to stick to the built-in randomizer. And that way, you know, that means everybody can play, and they can play whatever way they want to play with console and so on. Ooh, that's great. Finding that in the brown chest might mean that now it's for sale. Sometimes when you find items in brown chests, they become for sale in the shop. I don't want to say it's 100% of the time and look like an idiot, but there's definitely a way to get more stuff for sale in the shop. And you know, the same way as when you find a recipe in one of these chests, that will make that recipe available for crafting, or you know, creating the food in the central town area as well. In this particular, you know, way that we run this, it's going to give us a random thing to craft, and it's going to have random ingredients as well. I'm going to skip that blue. We've got really good pace here. I don't think it's really necessary to go for that. Oh, that is huge. Okay, so that is half a go mode right there. Very, very nice. Love to see it. The only thing about having that, though, is like we still don't have glasses, and they're craftable, so I'm probably still going to be checking items. Because glasses will mean that we can absolutely destroy the end boss without any thoughts. Okay, just a mana up. We don't need that. We do have Words of Wisdom, which is awesome. Makes all of our stuff randomly cost 0. Glasses will make all of our stuff cost 0. And this mode really tests your knowledge, because you have to know where every single item check is in the entire game, potentially, and even though we don't have to technically do any more, so gears are fun. Always love backtracking for something that we definitely didn't need, but if it would have been the thing we did need, it would have been bad. So here you can kind of like see what happens here. You get clipped through the gear if you like interact with an edge at the right angle. We did not get, right? Yeah. There's not really a better place to farm this particular enemy. Okay. We already got Shield Outsider, and this is a guaranteed shard drop, so I think it's worth doing way more in MC than it is in the other. He's very loud. Oh, almost. Directed shield is not the correct DS we need. We will need Dimension Shift. Or Dimension Shiftu. Okay. Playing much better without having to like just, just throw all the information out. Oh, actually, we do want to kill that because, yeah, it's not. There's a better place to farm him, but we might get lucky and get one of the kills here. Okay. So a lot of the castle is open, just a few areas we can't get to that require invert right now. Cool. I have oh, I did not equip. Oh, I don't have Aegis. I don't have Aegis Blade. All right. Failed Teeb is very good. We'll farm her in a minute here. I would definitely want to pick up the Deadeye book first. Okay, cool. That being a teleport room is awesome. When both of these rooms are saves, it's very bad. Okay. And now is the time to go back and shop and craft. Okay, so what we need to look for now is what breaks down into a Kitsune Mask or an Invisible Blade, I believe. And then we have to try to find Alcast. Bunny ears? Demon? Okay, that's good. High Ether. Ooh. Yep. Because that lets us go underwater now. Okay, so we need to find where my glasses at. Okay, so it was 2 Invisible Blades and 1 Kitsune Mask. So we can find the Kitsune Mask in a treasure chest or a location somewhere. The question is, so we already found the Invisible Blade. Oh right, yeah, I'm doing this wrong. So let's see how to craft one. All right, so what we can then do is go to dismantle and see what dismantles. Okay, so 3 Alcahest dismantles this into 2 Invisible Blades, so we have to keep sunglasses. Okay, that's a little bit tough to get to a... Okay, so 4 will get us a Valkyrie hat and Witch, or Valkyrie Dress and Witch's hat, which is pretty good. We're looking for Kitsune Mask here on the right side. Okay, none of the food will do it, and then, alright. Okay, so the Kitsune Mask is still... Kitsune Mask and 3 Alcahest will give us G-Rolls, and then I can literally stop checking items. So we can kind of get rid of this. Sunglasses is what we had to keep, right? Yeah. We can get rid of most of the rest of this. This was what the craft did as well. Oh, don't sell that. And this decrafted into something good too. Okay. Okay, 1 of every food. Let me buy a halite. Oh, 1 of these might. Okay. Sure. Alright. We gotta turn in our rice. So I can buy a bunch of stuff and see if it breaks down, but I think that's not worth it until we can find something that actually drops Alcahest. And, ooh, where do we want to go now? We want to go this side first. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I know what we're doing now. We need to see what this is. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, I already saw what that was. We should farm Ordog in a different spot, actually. But we know that Ordog drops Alcahest now, so that's good. Yeah. Ooh? Aww. That could have been accelerated. That'd have been amazing. Alright, if we can find the Kitsune mask, we're in business. Oh, bromide. Okay. That opens up a new area. Oh, we're out of mana. And the reason I wanted to approach from this side is because you can't get through this side without dimension shift the other way. So instead of going through the library and around this way, this is why I came this direction instead. Okay. Chest over here. Yep. Should be a... I don't remember if it's in here or what. There's a... Oh, there's a highlight in the chest. Look at that. Okay, so we got regen, unlock. We just basically looking for mana regen, and like what we can do is just buy a bajillion of the just buy a bajillion drinks. Okay, great. Teleport room means we don't have to do 8-bit right now. Do I want to waste stone after this? I don't think so. Okay, it's a blue chest. We don't care about that. Yeah, because I have like infinite HP basically with rice balls in the shop, and then I can just buy a bunch of the little drinks. Definitely don't want a game over right there, so. Man, I miss having double jump. So good. The dive kick part of double jump is just like the best. Okay. I think there's, yeah, this. Already killed him. There's one more chest, I think. Yeah, okay, it's blue. Aqua Stream, which I've already crafted, which is fine. Okay. else in this room. I always forget about what's in this room. Do we get the rush? Yeah, I'm not gonna let him screw me 2 seeds in a row. Basically, as soon as you see their death animation, if you don't see the shard spawn, you know it's not going to spawn. And you can kind of see it, as everyone. It's very quick to know that it's not going to work out. This is a one-way since we don't have inverts. Bloodless does drop a shard. Alright, Sumiko Death is something we can farm in a different spot. If needed, I think I still want to open up all the areas as well, because I just want to keep looking for Jibo Glasses components. To be perfectly honest. Yeah, there's nothing I can do down there. So we already farmed Mirage. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I always follow the philosophy of opening up as many areas as you can first, and then like trying to calculate, okay, this many enemies are in this location that we haven't found the shard for yet. Let me go to the maximize my odds type of deal. So, yeah. There's no way to get that without reflector ray or invert or dimension shift. So yeah, I'm actually going to go back this way. I'm going to preserve my waystone. Could also go back on the ship and clean those things up, but I don't have a great horizontal movement, so I think I'd like to save that for if I can find good horizontal movement. Also some item checks that I don't think we're going to do because they're out of the way. What's better? Bunny ears? Okay. Ribbon's better. Looking for Kitsune Mask. Kitsune Mask. Kitsune Mask. Kitsune Mask. Kitsune Mask. Alright. Bromide into ID into multipass. Yeah, so we can just buy max MP pretty much. Wait. Okay, I can buy a fairy scarf. Ooh, I can buy a gambler's ring as well? Gambler's ring, let's go. Okay, so we should be able to get a second book here. We'll grab the Fortune Tome. And then also get my own multi-pass, and I think we're going to go there next because it's just super high density, lots of item locations. I could, in theory, go caverns, and I can swim now with Aquastream. I think we'll do that next. Yeah. Okay, but I can't port towards it because there's no port rooms down that way. I was gonna say, let me just double check the library here and make sure there's no other enemies. Poltergeist we'll do later. Sabna Agreement, yeah, that's all farming we can do later. Okay. Yeah, I think the caverns is actually the better play. It's just so long. I need to save here because I can absolutely soft lock on the train. I think the caverns is the better play. It's longer, it's got more things to check, it's got more enemies. But I think this being faster, I might be able to parlay I think I want to do caverns and then bail and then come back here anyway. Instead of going in the desert or lethal lava land or anything like that. Dry docks into the desert, into lethal lava land. Yeah, doesn't sound like a good idea. I think I should just do the crazy train first. Going off the rails. Oh. Nice. Okay, so we got the ninja guy. I already got her. All right. Zangetsu being in beast mode. Okay. That opens up the rest of the castle. I can clip in without taking infinite damage to OSL now. Which I can show. Actually, that might be the play after this, to be honest, and just avoid caverns altogether. It might be. OSL. Clip in there. Yeah, we don't need to kill him anymore. Okay, so we gotta get all the shards. There's a puppy down here that's easier to farm, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so there's a bunch more checks. There's a boss. We could be looking at whatever being behind invert as well, I guess. So now that we, oh no, we still don't have. It could be in the other lab, and it could be behind invert plus. Could be behind invert plus reflector ray. That is possible. Okay. Oh, that's go mode. Ugh. I still should check these though, because if like the Kitsune mask is here, that's like an insane pull. Okay, so Bath and Head dimension shift. That's nice. So caverns would have actually taken me to the completely wrong. I mean, I maybe could have gotten glasses out of it or something, but okay. So right play was train. This might be shorter than. This might actually be shorter than the other one. It's hilarious. That's rando for you. Okay, what we do need to do is get our rice, though. Okay. Let me go grab the rice. Right on, right on. When you craft something, it is available in the shop for sure. So just buy with gold after you craft it. Hey, let me just make sure I can't craft a Kitsune mask. Okay, nor does anything dismantle into it. Okay. Yep. Hmm. Okay, I think with this much MP regen, we can go. Just go straight to the end. Oops. No, no horizontal movement, but that's fine. This is a really actually good seed because, well, I mean, if we would have stayed in farm, we would have lost a bunch of time, but we didn't, so we didn't. But yeah, this is a pretty good one. I had a pretty bad one for, I mean, I wouldn't say bad. I had a medium seed for the STS run. I just made a mistake, and the one thing I didn't farm was the one thing that had what we needed. So that's unfortunate, but you know, it happens. And then in this one, we guessed right a bunch of times. Well, in theory, sort of. Guessed right a bunch of times. Got some good drop rate. I did have to refarm the sagging that had high jump because I popped off screen too quick. That was unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this one was pretty good. I mean, any MC under 130 is pretty great, considering how bad it can go. You know, with Zangetsu 12 being able to be almost anywhere in any item check, it's cool. Oh, I missed double jump so much. Oh, I should have done that. That was stupid. I have to use Dimension Shift to skip this boss, so. Sometimes when you have... It's a great location for that. Sometimes when you have the high jump and you get a little loose with your execution on your backdash cancels, you will accidentally hit up while you're hitting backdash, and that will give you your high jump, which is not great. Okay, I mean, just checking for GGs wherever I can, or a Kitsune Mask, which is basically the same thing. We don't need any consumables. We're good. Okay, well, we need to save here because the other room might be a teleport room and not a save room, so. Let's save here. Yep. Okay, so yeah, that's a light weapon. We're gonna take this off. We're good there. Yep, wisdom, void ray. We don't want to get anywhere near her, and yep. Okay. This is gonna be faster than the other one. Wild. What was the other one? Yeah. Oh well, not as fast in terms of raw time, but pretty close, which is amazing. Okay, Cat's the worst RNG that you can get because this is the uh, most annoying middle attack to deal with. But we have invert, so we'll be safe. So no worries there. All right. There we go. 116. Max chaoses can go way more wrong than that. You could be off exploring every single area of the castle. That one was fairly kind to us. And as I was mentioning before, we can definitely try to work with the team and curate a seed that the runner, whoever it is, even if it's not me, will not know about until we get there. We can have a pool of 3 or 4 and draw one at random from vetted ones that we know are completable. However you guys want to approach that is fine with me, or who I'm sure will be fine with whoever else you may select if you decide to go with the remote option instead. Like I mentioned in the form, I think if you want to see the highest level gameplay, of course, but you're willing to check into, having somebody do a run while calling in, we definitely have some of our best players that should be available to do that, and we can work with them on that. But if you do want somebody to come in live, I believe I'm the only person from the community that can make it. But I'd be happy to share the stage with one of my fellow community members if you decide to do a co-op run as well of this. So that would be 2 of us playing this exact mode, but we would be sharing information, very similar to the way you'd see it done in other games. and then both players would have to finish, and we would time from there. All right, thank you so much for considering us to be in the marathon. Definitely hope that we get in. If we don't, no worries. Like I said, the last one, we'll be looking forward to watching the marathon. Big fan of randomizers, so it's definitely on my calendar either way. And it's been wonderful speaking to the people that reached out to us and asked us to, please check you out and submit. And here we are. So they deserve all the credit as well. And hopefully we will see you in June.